we see the world. So I love it because it's ephemeral quality on off, but I also love the thing that it's a sort of the first. It's the, read the Bible, let there be light, all that sort of stuff. But it was a really clean medium to choose. While I was doing an evening course at Saatchi & Saatchi, the account guy said, Bruce, you've got a butterfly mind. He said, you've got to stick to one thing. And they were the best advice I ever had, because I did stick with light. And then I realised that I could express my ideas through that one medium. And when I started off lighting, I was amazed. It was all about engineers. If you really are any good at what you do, you should be talking to these people. I mean, that's part of the process I enjoy, is when you meet people who have been doing a job for us and they've got so much knowledge, and it's actually almost asking them to accept you, and when you get them involved and excited about a scheme, you get a much better result. The idea of light, it's a variety of thoughts and feelings. My father died when I was 40, when I was sort of maybe 2 or 3 years later. I thought if I was going to give this a real shot, I needed to making these personal pieces. And I started to realise that I had quite a lot of little stories that I could tell, and how was I going to make that an interesting story and visually say what I felt. Now, there's an opportunity to put those in spaces. What they will see at Cheekwood are a collection of lights made in different materials, halogen or metal halide or LED or candle, and they're put together in a particular way, so that each piece has its own rhythm and its own sort of quality. The field of light will always be slightly different at every space I do it, but I'd always intended, when I first had the idea when I was travelling in the desert, when I got there I was absolutely bowled over. It was like electricity was coming out of the floor, partly to do with the heat radiating out of the desert at night. And this idea to plant thousands of flowers of light, it would have been nice to have something that did this at night and then went to sleep in the day. It was a reverse. At the time, I thought I wanted to do this and then take it around the world. It's like taking something that you've really felt and just seeing how it would stand up in other spaces, then makes you look at the space in a different way. TP is a technical experiment which started off, Serena, my wife, she was keeping chickens at home and they were getting killed by the foxes. And a local farmer came along and showed me this amazing trick. He had an electric fence, a redundant fluorescent tube, and a 12-volt battery. And by putting the tube on the fence, just connecting, the tube as it was, it reignites the gases in the tube in a flash. And it just does that like a pulsing flash. When I saw this about 7 years ago, I thought, God, that is clever. What could I do with that? And when I was at Cheekwood, I don't know why, the idea to make TPs I thought was quite sort of fun. And we basically used these double tubes as a vertical for a TP structure. And we just basically built a small collection of TPs. That lighting technique has now led to lots of ideas that I can do the same thing. Art is a really good way to communicate thoughts and ideas, and the opportunity for people like myself is to come and say, this is the work that I do, this is how I felt this place worked for me, and how I could sort of interpret that. And what I hope is that they go through it with an open mind and to be kind of excited.